I'm glad to see everybody here. So
Good
we are
afternoon,
recording. Good
602.
afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms.
Good
Canela.
afternoon, Miss
And
Canela.
Mr. R.
Miss R.
Good afternoon, Ms.
Okay.
Canela and Mr. R.
Hi,
Yes.
guys. I have a couple of announcements for you guys, and so does Miss Canela. So I guess I'll start it off by saying good afternoon back to all of you. There's a couple of announcements. The first very simple announcement is, guys, that I advise everyone to attend Saturday. School is Saturday. And before you say, "What I got things to do," but guys, let me be realistic. It's only an hour long. It's a review for your interim assessment. Without being there, it's going to be very hard to complete every question on the interim assessment correctly. So I would advise you to please go and attend Saturday school only from 9 to 10 o'clock, and it will guarantee that you are going to be passing your test. Again, it's not for us. We're just here trying to help you out to make sure that you pass. Other than that, I would like to say the following. Your notes are recommended to be turned in this class period and only this class period. There is no, I'll wait till 3 o'clock. No, it's done at the end of this class period. Our learning target, our Lennis was kind enough to put it up already, so that should have been written down already in your notebook. Other than that, you are expected to have iReady for 150 minutes. Again, today. And that by 3 o'clock, right?
Yep.
And everything else, I think, is straightforward, and you guys should be able to keep up. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask before we get started.
As you know, next Friday is the quarter's over next Friday, and the interim assessment is next Thursday, the 28th. So, you know what you got to do. You have this week and next week. We have 2 late arrivals coming in, Mr. I'm going to text you the attendance.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, Haley! I'm so happy to see her. Wow. Okay. Cameras need to be on at all times, and this is what we're going to do. How about we have, can we pick person to type?
I got it. I'll write it. Just for time's sake. It's already 1:24.
Okay. Mr. R is going to type who's doing the learning target and who's going to do problem 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then we'll call the rest kind of like a free ball kind of thing, if you're cool with that, Mr. R.
Problem, what'd you say? 10, 14, 15?
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I had in 601, because you had your car problem, I had 2 students tackle the problem. That way everyone had a chance. Like I picked like 2 kids to do it. 1 read, 1 do, 1 help, like that.
So problem 1, we have, all right, I got learning target, Jean. Problem 10 is going to be Shay. Problem 11 is going to be Arlenis. All the way to what problem?
14.
12 is going to be.
You don't want to assign 2 people because it's a lot. Some of them.
No, I just take 1 person at a time. Be fine. Okay. Bella. I got problem 13 is going to be Angie.
Hold on. Somebody doesn't have their camera on. I'm putting them.
Problem 14 is going to be, let's go with Lay. And there it is. Learning target, Jean. Problem 10, Shay. Problem 11, Arlenis. Problem 12, Bella. What am I talking about? Problem 11? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to get the show on the road. So, Jean, you're going to start us off. Arlenis, can you be the person to remind Mr. R and I who's got what problem, please?
Yeah.
All right. So we're on yesterday's work, guys, in your Google Classroom, right? Yesterday we stopped on this question with Mr. Blau. Today we're going to pick up here. So, Jean, Carlos, can you read learning target up to 80% and up, sir? Write down the learning target for Friday.
Yeah, I'm just going to write it and then I'm going to read.
Okay, so today, guys, it's Friday, January 22nd of 2021. We're reviewing all the standards in ratios and proportions, Unit 2, and we're going to review the work on equations and expressions, which is part of Unit 3. So take the next 20 seconds to write down your learning target if you haven't. And when the 20 seconds is up, I'm going to come off mute. Giving you 20 seconds. I'm putting a timer on. That means time is now up. That was more than 20 seconds that you had, Yankel. I'm going to text this to Mr. R. And we are going to get the show on the road. Go ahead, Jean. Take it away, sir.
Okay. Learning target. I can successfully review for my second math interim assessment that is on Tuesday, January
28th.
28, 2021, and be prepared. Today, we will review for our second math interim assessment that is on Thursday, January 28, 2021, by completing practicing questions and asking questions when needed to be protection, 18% and up.
Awesome. So the goal is, guys, when you take this interim assessment, Mr. R and I forgot to tell you, it's going to be at a 16 points. So if you get 12 out of 16, you earned a 75, and 13 out of 16 is an 81%. So you want to try to get 12 or higher. Each question is 1 point. There are 16 on the whole interim. All right.
This is Shay. So Shay asked me to read this, so I will. Problem 10 is operations with fractions. In short response, this is what we have to do. So let's cycle it together, Shay. A teacher has a total of 3/4 pounds of trail mix. The teacher puts 1/12 pounds of trail mix at each workstation. The teacher sets up an equal number of workstations in each classroom, in each of the 3 classrooms. How many workstations does each teacher set up? So obviously with this, we want to use keep, change, flip. I just have 2 questions. Shay, what are we keeping?
What's the first fraction?
3/4.
Good.
Good. We know that we're dividing when we have the keep, change, flip. And then we have 1/12. Now, when we drop that down, we're going to keep the 3/4, right? And then we're going to change the division sign to what? Multiplication. And we're going to flip it, right?
So Shay, what's the reciprocal of 1/12?
12/1.
Good. Now multiply. 12 times 3.
12 times 3 is 36.
4 times 1.
4.
Now 36 divided by 4 is how much?
9.
9. Now we didn't finish it, right, Shay? Because we only found out if we set this fraction up what the answer is, right? The question says, it says an equal number of workstations in 3 of the classrooms. So we got to do one more step with the 9 and the 3. We have to do what operation with the 9 and the 3? Multiply or divide?
Divide.
Good. Divide 9 by 3, and what do you get?
9 by 3, you get 3.
So what does this 3 represent? Read the last question. How many?
How many workstations does the teacher set up in each classroom?
So there are 3 what?
Workstations.
That
Workstations
are in.
that the teacher,
In each classroom.
good, that the teacher sets up in each classroom. Does everyone see how we got that?
Yeah.
If I were you, I highly suggest you take a screenshot on your phone if you have a cell phone or on your computer.
I have them over and down if you need them.
Yeah, me too.
No, I'm talking to you, Ms. Canoria.
Yeah, me too, Mr. R.
All right.
So we're going to give you guys, Mr. R, can we put a timer up for 30 seconds for them to write this down?
It's on the right top corner where it says recording.
I can't see that when I share the screen.
I got it. I'm looking at it. It's on my touchpad too.
I'm going to screenshot you today's attendance. Here's the late arrivals and the on-time students.
You have 5 seconds remaining.
Okay, this person was late.
And that's it. 5 seconds, you're up.
All right, so I'm going to erase that. And hold on a second. Again, it is your responsibility to go back to the recording. Will be posted after this class. If you need something, and make sure you take detailed notes. That's all we're going to say. Oopsies. Okay, sorry guys. Oh shoot. Okay. All right, let's move on to problem 11. It says Brandon earns $120 by selling 40 chocolate bars at the school. Using the same rate for the cost of 1 Hershey chocolate bar, how many more chocolate bars would Brandon need to sell to earn a total of $180. Find the unit rate. Who's got this problem?
Lennis.
How do you find unit rate?
Okay, so I believe unit rate is dividing.
Good.
So keywords are each. Yeah, you're right with that. Okay.
No, you say.
The keywords are each, every, per. Yeah,
I
that's
hope
it.
you're paying attention because they're telling you how to do it.
Okay, Mom.
I already did it.
So step 1, I think.
What are the two units you're comparing? That's the first question.
The 2 units we're comparing is 120 and 40.
So units, no numbers, just the
Oh,
word.
no numbers. Oh, right, I forgot.
Okay.
The cost and the chocolate, Hershey chocolate bar.
I'm going to say HCB, Hershey chocolate bars,
Okay.
just for time.
Okay, step 2 is,
Mr. R is going to ask you step 2.
okay.
What is step 2?
Okay, so
What do we do?
Messiah has a.
Well, what 2 units are we comparing?
The cost and the Hershey chocolate bars.
So
Perfect,
Messiah
right.
has a.
So what's the cost?
The cost is 120
Over what?
over 40.
Perfect, right? And we're gonna break it down even further than that, because we want to find out what the unit rate is per one Hershey, right? So how do we do this? We said 120 over 40, right?
How many more this side is half? 10? 10.
Over 40, right? Then what does that equal?
So the unit rate is dividing, so I think we're supposed to do 120 divided by 40.
Yep.
120 divided by 40, which is what? Take away the zeros, right? How many times does 4 run to 12?
3.
So
There you
$3 per one Hershey bar. Do you see that?
Yes.
Oh, I'm like, what is she doing? Okay.
Now this
So
is
yeah, 3 over 1, and now that gives you per 1, right? For 1, but we're not done yet. Look at what the question says. It says how many more? How many more Hershey chocolate bars would Brendan need to sell to earn a total of $180?
So I think
So-
now we're supposed to multiply.
You're done?
Perfect.
Yeah,
How
multiply
do we
what?
do that?
You're done?
So step number 4. You're going to use the unit rate to what?
To find out how much how
many
candy bars will would, I don't remember the name.
you need for $180?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're going to multiply. You're correct. That's one way to do it. So if you have $3, you said over 1, right? And then you said here you had 180. What's this missing mystery number?
Is this like the butterfly method or
Yep.
something?
It is.
So that 100 times 180 is 180. And 180 divided by 3 is, I have to find out. 180 divided by 3 is 60.
Okay, but you're not done. Mr. R is going to go back and read the question for you to figure out the last step.
Right, because we just found out that 180,
What is that?
right?
She said, what does that mean?
So now, Arlenis, now that we have the total Hershey bars before for the 40, realize that he's asking, the question is asking you how many more. If she was to sell 120, how many more Hershey bars would she need?
20.
How do you get that?
Because I subtracted 60 from 40. Wait, no,
Why?
40 from 60.
Why did you subtract that?
Because when you subtract, you find out how much more. This stuff I learned in like first grade.
Okay. Mr. R, who just came in?
All right, Yankel.
Again, okay. So you need 20 more Hershey bars to equal $180. Now, Arlena said something else, Mister. I don't know if you heard her. Something about multiplying. You could either have done 1 times what is 60, right? And we know that you have to multiply by 60. So whatever I do to the denominator, I could do to the numerator. So if I multiply 60 here, I got to multiply 60 on the top. Do I still get the same answer? Do I still get 60 chocolate bars
Yes.
for $180, whether I use the butterfly method or the equivalent ratio method, right? Does everyone see the 2 ways that we just showed you how to solve it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to start erasing it. Okay, we're going to do the next problem. And Mr. R, do you want to read that and say who's going to help you or who's going to do it? Who's reading it, actually?
So that's problem 12, and problem 12 is going out to the following Isabella.
Okay, so she's going to read it. We can help her. I'm going to make it bigger here. Good?
You gonna do this one?
You could do it because I did the last one.
Okay. So it says the recipe uses 1 1/4 cups of almond milk to make 10 servings. If the same amount of almond milk is used for each serving, how many servings can be made using 1 gallon of almond milk? Now realize we have to convert the 1 gallon of almond milk per serving, obviously. So we made that 1 gallon is equal to 128 ounces, which is equivalent to 16 cups of almond milk. That being said, guys, if we do the 2 units that we're comparing, Isabella, what are the 2 units we're comparing?
We're gonna be comparing 1/4 cup of almond.
No. Okay, so almond milk and
10 servings. Sorry.
perfect. So we got cups of almond milk and servings. Now realize there's a couple of steps, right? Realize we converted the 1 gallon into cups of almond milk, meaning if I was to pour almond milk into cups, it was gonna fill 16 cups. Okay. So obviously the first unit is we got to create the labels, and that's going to be almond milk and servings, right? I did not get to copy down number 1 and number 11.
No, I meant number 11, not number 1.
Show your
Okay,
Oh.
we'll post it in the chat for you. Somebody will post it up. Okay?
Perfect. So
We'll post
now,
it in the chat.
Isabella, we have to fill in the labels that we know, right? So what do we know, Isabella? Look at this chart right here and tell me. Well, the first thing that we know is 1 1/4. Before we do that, we have to convert the 1 1/4, right? So 1 1/4 gets converted to what? Think about this. If I want to use it as a whole number per se, because I can't use a fraction really. Joseph would say 5 1/4, which is not wrong, but you have to actually divide 5/4. However, there's another way to do this. Well, we have 1 as a whole, right? And then it says 1/4. What's 1/4 converted to?
If you have
What's
1/4,
already write it down?
yeah, guys, think about it. Money. If you have 1/4, how much money is that? 25 cents? Yes, they put 0.25.
Exactly, 0.25. So you would actually add that to the whole and you get 1.25. Everybody see what we just did there in order to convert that. Isabella, you with me so far? Yes? Isabella? You with me? Yes? Okay. So now that you have that, Isabella, we got to fill it in. So we got 1.25 over what, Isabella? How many servings do I have? Don't guess, it's right in front of you. 1.25 with how many servings?
Look at the first sentence.
10
Good.
There you go. 1.25 over 10.
Equals.
And then equals what? Now, I remember I told you, we're looking for in the other fraction, it's going to be the cups of milk, which is, I told you, 1 gallon gets converted to 128 ounces, and it has how many cups of almond milk?
How many cups are in 128 ounces?
16 cups.
There you go.
Do you know the serving?
No, it's the question mark that we're looking for, right? Now, Isabella, now that we have that, what do we do when we have a fraction like this and we're trying to find that?
What method?
The butterfly method.
Yes.
Bingo. You're killing it. So now what do we do? 16 times 10 is what?
Come on, that's easy.
It's just add a 0.
Mom was calling me. 160.
Perfect. And then what do we do with the 1.25? Do we just leave it there? Is it just gonna chill out?
No, you have to divide it by 160.
Perfect. So
Right.
now we divide 160 by what?
1.25.
Which equals what?
128.
128 what?
What we
Servings.
were looking for. There you go.
So this question mark is what?
120.
128.
And what does this whole entire problem represent? What's this 128? There are how many servings in 1 gallon?
128.
Perfect.
In 1 gallon, what is this, of almond milk, right? Oops, not that. Okay, I spelled milk right, Mr. R?
I think so.
Does everyone see that? Does everyone see? You could also cross multiply. You would do 10 times 16 and you would get 160, right? So if we had to really do this like the way we showed you guys, right? Do this butterfly method. Remember that? Make the little head with the little antlers. Multiply, you get 160. Mr. R was telling you cross multiply. 128 times 1.25. You get 60.
Another way to check yourself, right, guys?
So I can say that 1.25 over 10 is equivalent to 16 over 128 because the cross products are equivalent. Does that make sense? Anyone have any questions? Maybe we should give them like a minute to write this down, Mr. R.
Yeah, sure.
It's a lot. I'm going to make it smaller. I'll do the next one with them.
All right.
Mr. R will tell you when your minute's up, and then we'll proceed to the next one, which is very straightforward. Okay, Arlena said she has to go help her little sister getting on Zoom with something, so she'll be right back.
Sounds good.
You have to know the conversion. They're not going to give you this. You have to know that 1 gallon is 128 ounces, which is the same as 16 cups, and then it goes into pints and quarts. But you just have to know that in order to answer it. It's called a conversion question. You're actually finding the relative rate here. That's what you did.
On the test, are you here? I hear backpack. That's what I keep hearing. Really low, but I hear it.
Is the minute up?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do the next one with who's reading that problem? Who's got this problem? Number 13?
Number 13 is Angie.
Okay, Angie, please read this. I don't think you need our help. Let's see what you got. Angie? Angie, or to Angie, going once? Going twice? Angie, I think your volume needs to be louder. She's trying, we don't hear you, Angie. Maybe turn your mic settings up?
Now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. The volume V of any cube with a side length S can be determined using the formula V equal S3. What is the volume in cubic centimeters of a cube with a side length of 4.6 centimeters? Hint, multiply 4.6 times 4.6 times 4.6.
All right, Angie, so step 1, what does it say in red?
Write the formula V equals S to the third power.
Good. So now that I know V equals S to the third power and S is 4.6, what do I do with the 4.6 and the S to the third? What do I have to do?
You have to substitute it.
Substitute S for what number?
S for 4.6.
Okay, so how many times am I writing 4.6 on the paper if it's raised to the third power?
3 times.
Am I adding or multiplying these numbers?
Multiplying.
You're so smart, kid. So now, the third step is to solve it. So on your calculator, those of you that are not answering, what is 4.6 times 4.6 times 4.6 in the chat? Type your response. Type your answer and see if Angie agrees with you. Huh?
97.336.
So what answer should you pick?
You should pick answer B.
So right, just want to stress it's cubic centimeters. So it's choice B. Everyone see that? That was straightforward. I mean, if you have a calculator, it's pretty straightforward, right, Mr. R? Yeah. So you would pick B as in boy. Comments, questions, dilemmas, concerns?
My glasses.
Huh?
Sí.
Me llamas al rato con términos, con puede ser.
Okay.
Everyone see that? I mean, that's pretty
Yes.
straightforward. There's a question like this on the interim. Every problem we're doing is like this on your interim.
Ms. Canova,
Yeah.
I'm gonna text you.
Are we good? I'm erasing step 1. Step 2.
No.
All right. Let's do number 14. Number 14. Who's got this one? Who's got this one? Number
This
14.
one, number 14, right? 14 is lay.
Isaiah.
Okay. Daniel has 6 teaspoons of peppers. The ratio of teaspoons is 3 to 1. How many tablespoons of peppers does Daniel have?
Look, teaspoon. Yes, Mr. R, I know it was crazy last class. Teaspoon.
Yeah, she was.
Tablespoon.
Now
Teaspoon.
you're trying to make fun of it, guys, but she was. So she compared teaspoons and tablespoons. But obviously you're comparing the two, right? Tablespoons and teaspoons. So Isaiah,
Use
what are
TS.
the two units that are you comparing? I just said it.
Tablespoons and teaspoons.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right, so now that you have that, I want you to bring this down, right? I want you to work this through. Obviously, we start off with 6 teaspoons, right? So when we draw and label it, that's which second part, which Canela's gonna help you now. The first thing you should write down is teaspoons. So that's the first one on there, right?
So
What's the second one?
TBS, Mr. R, teaspoon, TBS, tablespoon.
Whatever floats your boat. So now that we have both, right, Isaiah, we're left with what? How many tablespoons has 6 teaspoons? I'm sorry, I said that wrong.
Yeah, you did.
How many teaspoons are there?
There is 6 teaspoons.
Okay, good. Over what? What are we trying to figure out?
Over the
Tablespoons, which we don't know, right? We don't know. We gotta figure it out. And what's the ratio?
The ratio is.
Canela already wrote it down for you. 3/1, right? That's the one that says, right? It says the ratio is of teaspoons is 3/1. Meaning, for every teaspoon that you have is 3, and for every tablespoon of that teaspoon is going to be 1. So that being said, step 3 is cross multiply, or step 4. Sorry, using the butterfly method. What do we do, sir?
What we do is the butterfly method. We would go 6 to 1, and
Which is
6.
And then 6 divided by 3.
6, 2.
2. So what would your answer just be? A, B, C, or D?
It would be C.
Perfect. Everybody see what we did there, right? We had to draw it out, and the reason why I'm telling you guys to draw it out is because it could get more complicated than it looks, right? What happens if these numbers were 3 times bigger? You're gonna be like, which is what everybody does. They start panicking because they don't know what to do. So that's why we're telling you, hey, label it out and then work your way through it.
Mr. R, I just thought of something as you did that.
Mhm.
We have quick time. We'll take 2 seconds. Can I just show them something real quick?
Whatever you prefer.
Look, if you think of this as tablespoons, TSB, I said, right? No, TSP.
Oh, that's the way I did it at the beginning with. But yeah.
So T, and then we're going to call this table, right? If you want to make a ratio table. So if you have 3 teaspoons and you have 1 tablespoon, and then
Which is the ratio.
and then you have 6 tablespoons. How many teaspoons do you have?
How do you get from 1 to 6, guys? You times it by what?
1 times 6 is 6. So 3 times what's going to give me 6?
2.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you see how they're
You see
equivalent?
that? You guys see what we did? We pretty much did a ratio table. You guys remember those nice the cups of flour and the cups of sugar? Same thing.
Yes.
All they're doing is making you double it. It's multiple ways you could solve this, but people want you to do it. Use this method.
Actually,
Whichever
it.
is easier for you, honestly, use it.
You should have
Okay?
had it this way because it would have been easier if we would have done it like this. Look, this would have been 6 here. Actually,
That's how I did in 603.
yeah. See, 1 to 3, 2 to 6. You guys see that? 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. Does everyone see that?
Yeah.
So we just showed you, and then another student said,
Two methods.
another student in another class said 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 2 divided by 2 is going to give me 1. So there's 3 ways we just showed you. Okay, Mr.
You know what that means, right? No excuses, apparently. All right, guys, let's work through the last 2. So I'm going to give you a heads up. All 3 of the last 3 problems right here that we just did, the tablespoon one, the next one, and the following, are all on your IP. There should be no reason why you get it wrong.
I'll do this one. You can do the last one, okay, Mr.
No. You do the last one because I always get confused with the last one.
Oh, man. All right, fine.
Maria has a goal of running a total of 100 miles this month. Each day that she ran 8 miles. Which expression could Maria use to determine how many miles she has left to run after D days? Now think about this. The word left stands for what operation? Is it addition, subtraction, multiplication, division? What is it? The word left. And who's tackling this? I forgot who's tackling this.
We didn't assign.
Subtraction. Joseph, perfect. Subtraction. Yes, I agree with you 100%, right?
We didn't assign anyone for this one.
Yeah, we did it. Okay, so
Okay. So I like Joseph, you there? Can you pick up?
Well, since we're doing subtraction, we have to do 100 minus the number of days, which is D. And since he runs 8 miles each day, we can use the variable 8D.
Okay, so then what are we doing, sir?
The miles each day.
So you said 100.
So now, yeah.
100 minus what?
8D.
Everybody see what he did? He clearly noticed that 8 miles per day is actually 8 multiplied by days. And then he took 100 and subtracted that from the 8D. Does that make sense? Yes? All right.
Keyword, guys, was left. That's how he knew.
All right.
All right, let me know when I can erase this one, Mr. And we'll tackle the last one, and then we'll open up IP, and then note submission, and if there's time for iReady. Because this should be an easy 100, guys. It should take you 2 minutes. I promise you there's a question just like this on the interim. Mr. R and I already wrote it.
Yeah.
Are we good, Mr. R?
For right now, yeah. We can start erasing this one. Start from the top, though, yeah.
All right, this one's a little tricky. So I'm going to call on Mariama. I would like for you to read this problem. The names are Abigail and Liana. And we're going to go question by question. We're going to go sentence by sentence. Go ahead. Mariama?
Abigail and Liana are making bracelets.
Freeze.
Abigail
Wait,
makes
freeze.
50 bracelets.
Wait, freeze right there.
Liana
Wait, freeze right there. Is the first sentence important? Do we care that they're making bracelets? Does that have any math in it? No. Read the next sentence. What does sentence 2 say, Mariama?
Abigail makes 50 bracelets.
Freeze. How many bracelets did Abigail make?
50.
Good. Move on to the next sentence.
Leanna makes M more bracelets than Abigail.
Freeze. I want to show that Leanna makes M more than. We know that more than is addition, right? But look at the way it's written. Makes M more than Abigail. So what operation are we going to use? Addition or multiplication? 50 more than is written how?
Addition.
She says addition. Let's see, guys. Do we agree that it's 50M or do we agree that it's 50 plus M? What do we think? Which one of these is correct? It's not subtraction now. That was the other problem. I do. Let's hear from Arlenis. What do you think? Do you agree? Is it 50M or 50 plus M? What do you agree with your colleague, your peer? Read it carefully. Leanna makes M more than bracelets than Abigail.
I think it is 50 plus M. Yeah.
You think? Can you defend? Can you justify why you think it's that?
Because it says Leanna makes more bracelets than Abigail, which I think that means that it makes sense to put 50M because I guess they're not one like number together.
So you think it's what I have here with the box? So let's think about it, right? We clearly know it's not C and we know it's not D because that does not make any sense, right? So goodbye.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So now let's say if Abigail made 40. Is that 50 more than Abigail? Is 90 50 more than? 90 is 50 more than? No.
No.
Clearly we can't be adding it because if we multiply, if Leanna made 100 bracelets, is 100 50 more than 50?
Yes.
Yes. If the M was 3, that would be 150. That's 50 more than her friend, right? So it has to be choice B as in boy.
Okay.
You see that mathematically how that makes sense? Because if I said M was 30, this would be 50 plus 80, right? That's 140. That is not 50 more than 50, is it? That's 80 more than. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
So you guys see why it's B as in boy, right?
Yes.
All right, Mr. R, you want to give the next set of directions?
Absolutely. If you don't mind, can we stop sharing really quickly? All right, guys, so this is what your next steps are. I'm going to be opening up the independent practice. Remember that I told you that the last 3 questions that we just finished are all on your IEP, so there's no reason you should get that wrong. So I'm going to open that up, and then afterwards you have 2 things to do. One, you have to make sure that you finish all your I ready by 3 o'clock because 150 minutes are getting graded by 3 o'clock. 2, you must submit all your daily class notes. You should know that, right? It should be done in the next 20. It's easy. If you were recording the notes as we were going, guess what? You should have full credit. Same learning target from yesterday. If you didn't get it, it is also in the chat. Other than that, I will be opening up your independent practice as we speak. Go.
And when you're done, submit your notes, followed by I ready, guys. And Saturday school continues.
You will get a note as soon as you're done with the form. It should say this form is no longer receiving submissions. Please proceed with I ready, and it should be done by 3 o'clock p.m., which is informing you as well.